guys, it's Jean here. Welcome to my channel. So I wanted to, give an update, a life update, a channel update, and a very honest update actually, what's been going on in my life. So if you've been following me, then you know this year has pretty much been everywhere. I've missed a couple of uploads. I do try to record and I do try to post every Tuesdays, but I have dropped the ball this year. Just life in general, nothing specifically happening, but just it got the best of me recently, and I kind of just wanted to sit down and just address it and just get the ball back up. But yeah, so if you've been following me, then you know that my channel is just a bunch of randomness. Like, I can't even categorize it because I don't have a specific genre, I guess. I'm not a beautician. I don't do beauty. I don't do luxury goods now as well. I don't do here and there. I just kind of dabble into everything because I originally started out this channel as more of a therapy, like for mental health. I got to the point, I think it's been this is my 4th or 5th year doing this, and it's not the biggest channel as well. I guess because I don't know whether I can relate to a lot of people because it's a lot of just everything. But I have no problems, I guess, expressing my feelings and talking it out. I'm quite open with that, but I do have trouble, I guess, talking it with people in general. I just feel like, the people that do want to help you, I have to cater what I'm saying. That doesn't necessarily portray what I'm feeling, and I find that very difficult. So I find it easier speaking to a camera, to a broader audience, where I don't have to cater it and get more, I guess, of what I'm trying to feel out there. And in a way, if someone else is going through something similar, they can relate. It's good to know that you're not alone as well. So that's kind of why I started this channel. And then along the ways, I posted things that, I liked at the time, like beauty, hauls, luxury goods, blogs, traveling, and then recently mum life, because that's who I am now. And most times it's quite fun. I have time to do this, got it all under control. But now I'm kind of reaching through a direction in life that's out of my control, and I don't really know it's kind of up in the air right now. So I find it very hard finding time to record. So I guess I wanted to sit down and just let you guys know, since you guys have been loyal and following me, to also for me to be the same and be very honest and share what's been happening. So when someone asks you, how are you going? My instincts is just say, yeah, I'm good, I'm okay. But am I really okay? When it comes to day-to-day things, I guess I am okay. I'm alive, I'm surviving, I'm somewhat healthy, I guess. I can manage my day. But I guess emotionally, that is a question that I can never really understand or really say. It's been something that's been going on through the mind, and I know lately, especially now that we're in winter. I'm in Melbourne, so we're going through almost, hopefully, the end of winter. But ever since winter came along, it really got the best of us, and me especially, and I've just been cooped up at home. I just don't want to go out, don't want to socialize as much, and even getting out of bed can be really hard. And having a 10-month-old is so hard because you still, as much as you just want to not adult some days and just stay in bed the whole day, you can't, because you got to feed a little kid. You got to still go on with life. And also got sick a few times as well, and I have not been sick for the past 2-3 years. And honestly, I say it all the time, I credit that to apple cider vinegar and honey, but it actually finally caught up. And I actually think it's because when your mind is unhealthy, when it comes to thoughts and just in general, when you think you're sick, you actually get sick because of that. And it just takes a while to heal because you're just stuck in that rut where you just don't want to get out of, and that's where I've been the past couple of months. Weather definitely did play a big role, but it also made me question a few things as well. We did, though, have a couple of breakthroughs, which was very good, but along that it did come with a lot of setbacks as well. So that's been what's happening, I guess, as a summary. There are a few things that I obviously wanted to address and let you guys know today. So the first one is, I guess, postnatal depression. So I have actually posted a video up previously in one of my mum chats about postnatal. I guess that was more relating to the first couple of months of being a mum, what it was like. But you know, postnatal depression isn't something that just happens straight after having a kid. It's also happens later on in life as well. Now that Isabella's 10 months, there are definitely new bunch of challenges and new, I guess, things that have popped up in my mind that have been, I guess, putting me down. I did also record this through another one of these mum chats. I actually did a couple, but it just didn't turn out the way it is. And I'm quite cautious as well because I know my videos go for very long. So I just felt like it wasn't perfect, in my opinion, enough to post up and share. So I guess I wanted to, recap and address that. So postnatal depression was hard for me at the start, and like I said in my previous video, because it's that expectation of being a mum, having everything under control, thinking, yep, this is what I'm meant to do, but when she came out, everything just went out the door. It didn't exactly happen the standard way, so I felt like, you know, I was lost. And moving on now, a couple months later, I don't think my issues were postnatal related. I think they were just normal depression that just never really got addressed or resolved moving forward to post natal. And the struggle I have been having in just, I guess, not just me and my daughter, but me and my husband as well, is having a kid. When you have a kid, it's hard because as much as you want the best for your child, you also kind of forget about other things, simple things, priorities in life. And I guess, you know, at the end of the day, I felt like we didn't have a strong foundation. I did post a video up previously actually about relationship tips. I think that was during our 5-year anniversary. But I'll leave a link down below if you want to watch that. But one of my, I guess, important facts of a relationship is making sure you set a foundation right. And I think moving forward, I want my daughter to be able to know that, you know, that it's not okay to have no, like, you know, communication wise and the way you've been treated, it's not okay for certain things. And I want to show her what it's like to have a strong foundation to build on, because I think in any relationship it's very important to have a strong foundation. And I did feel like my husband and our relationship was kind of crumbling, that foundation, and I wanted to kind of work on that, which is hard because here you've got someone like me who has like a big spectrum of like emotions, and then you've got my husband who only really knows and feels couples, so it's really hard to kind of communicate and translate that. And I have thought about marriage counselling, which, you know, a lot of, I guess, close friends that I've talked about have been quite supportive. And it's honestly, to be honest, like not something that we've actually started yet, but it is something that I was thinking about. But I thought if we were going to go down that avenue, then, you know, make sure I tick all the boxes and work on me. Because I know at the end of the day, most of the issues were me. Like, I was the problem with all my emotions and stuff like that. And if I want, you know, that person, him, to also, you know, try and fix him, then I need to show them that, you know, I'm willing to do it as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that in all relationship wise, it's important, even if you are in a good relationship but you feel like there's something that needs to be worked on, then it's okay to work on it. So that's something that I've been doing. Unfortunately there wasn't actually any counsel, like government assisted marriage counselling, but there were like parenting like postnatal counselling sessions. So I did sign up to one of those and I attended, I guess, a session. I haven't done a private one yet, but I have done a session which actually really helped a lot. And it actually made me think that, well, my postnatal isn't exactly postnatal baby related. It's actually more previous depression related that's kind of just carried on in a new situation. But a lot of things that I learnt from those sessions were good for just normal, you know, normal depression related issues as well. And I guess that's something that I wanted to kind of sit down and chat about, which never really turned out the way that I wanted because I tend to blabber, which I think I'm doing now. But yeah, so that has been what I've been doing, and it's good because a lot of times people, like mums especially, go through these train of thoughts and you think you're the only one, but you don't realize that everyone goes through the same, and it takes balls, to be honest, to attend these sessions. Mine was through the council, I guess, this program, which was really good. So I think, I know in Australia, after you have a kid, they put you through maternal house in the local area just to check up on you. And I've obviously, like, on my folder, there's been red flags about depression. So I feel like that's something that they constantly ask me, are you okay? Is there any questions you wanted to ask? So I've just been on the ball, and I guess I wanted to do this because financially, being a stay-at-home mum as well, it's super hard because a lot of times you want to seek help, but it can cost quite a bit. So I guess these were really good for me to attend and just get a bit more out there. And I feel like even though it hasn't addressed, I haven't had my one-on-one appointment, I do feel like it's addressed a lot of, I guess, helpful thought processes and things along the way. And I did meet other set of mums in the same boat, and we kind of, like, got a little bond going on with that happening as well, knowing that you're not alone. It's okay to ask for help, and you're doing just fine. So that is, I guess, something that has been on my mind lately. But like I said, I think a lot of mine were prenatal related, so back to normal depression, and nothing specific. Like, Cal and I were perfect, like, we're fine, we're happy, we're in a good place right now. Nothing particular really happened, but I did kind of go through another episode, just thinking about the whole situation and just a whole lot of things. So I kind of wanted to, this is getting a bit personal, so if you don't necessarily agree or anything like that, then I appreciate, just hearing me out. But basically, it's taken a while, but I think I've gotten to a point where I can put what I'm feeling into right words. So I've had depression, looking back, my whole life, 33 years, and I couldn't understand. And I felt like no one really could understand what I was going through, what it was like, because it's not something I can easily put in words. It's a whole feeling that you feel inside you. And now that I've had time to, I guess, kind of analyze and think about it, because I want to be honest, what struggles me the most now is not my child, it's me. And I find that she can sleep perfectly fine 10 hours a night, but I'm the one that is up till 3 in the morning, can't think because there's so many things rushing through my head. So I've had plenty of time to think about it, and it comes down to identity and loyalty, which is my issue. So my issue is that, I guess, coming from an Asian culture, it's also, I guess I don't know what it's like in other cultures, but for me, I feel like being an Asian culture, there's this, it's ingrained in you that you must respect your elders, you must, listen to your parents, you must do this. As growing up, I felt like the vibe was, you need to study hard, you need to go to uni, graduate, and have a good job, and things like that. And even from a young age, I questioned it. Like, as a kid, I've always been out there, I've always been loud, but in a way, I've always been guarded as well. Guarded because I wasn't sure whether, I should be something that I wanted, or I need to be someone that someone else wanted me to be. And that's what I struggled with. I remember back in high school, let me just get comfy. So going back to high school, that's one thing that I guess triggered one of my episodes back in high school, was not only parents but authority figures, like teachers, teachers telling you, this is how you do things, this is what you have to do. Yet, you've seen examples of proving the opposite. Law, like, I know, legally there are laws in place to, prevent things, to make a safer place, but then you've got other actions that contradict those. For things like that really confused me, because it made me feel like, well, you're teaching me this one thing, but yet also contradicting by having these actions. And then it also made me feel like, what is my purpose in life? Like, why am I here? Am I here to serve other people for their benefits, or am I given this body, this brain, this mind to think for myself, to be someone, that I am? And I think that was my struggle growing up, is identifying yourself. And then in my 20s, I went on and did pretty much everything that I wanted to do and missed growing up. You know, went clubbing, did drinking, dabbled in a few things, you know, try to find out who I was. And I crashed and burned because it was just so overwhelming. And it's taken to a point where now that I'm in my 30s, that I kind of thought I was going through a right place, that I finally figured out who I was, and along the way as well. So I guess I had a little episode recently, and the good thing that came out of it was that I finally was able to explain it to my husband the way that felt true to what I was feeling. Is that the whole identity thing of not knowing who you are, it's like a little button inside you. That button where something will just trigger it, whether it's just like a bucket full of thoughts just overfilling and finally crumbling, where it'll just trigger that button where I'll just have this breakdown. And, you know, a couple of years ago, obviously getting married to Count, even prior to that, getting close to his family, my in-laws, and I haven't been shy about it the whole time as well. But I felt like the whole identity thing and being a daughter-in-law and my expectations really hurt me, and the whole experience really traumatized me to the point where it's broken that button. That button inside me is now broken. It's much more sensitive to a lot of things, where anything sensitive can kind of tick it off, and then I will just break down again and have another episode. These episodes aren't like, you know, physical episodes or anything. It's just mental breakdowns where I would just feel so empty, so alone, and so crumbled, not knowing who I was, and literally feeling like this black tar inside me spreading and just weighing me down and bringing me a whole lot of emptiness. And having that now sensitive button is that now that when things are okay, that whatever triggers it so hard. And it's not specific scenarios, it's what makes it hard is that it's people that trigger those. So now that my button is sensitive, there are certain people in my life that are like triggers, and you know, it's not their fault. And it's actually a lot harder because for anyone else, a stranger or anything, I can differentiate and, you know, block it off. No care given. But having people that are important to your life, you know, saying or doing stuff not directly, unintentionally at you, it's got nothing to do with them, because I know it's something that I feel inside me. So it's not something that I blame them or anything, but I realize that I have people that are triggers in my life that tick off that button, that set it off, that just makes me feel like nothing. And I know it's something that I need to work off, but the good thing is now that I can identify it, moving forward, it gives me, I guess, more of a better direction in what I need to do to work on it. And I guess for me to explain it to a professional, I guess it's also helpful as well. So I can work on a resolution. I don't have to feel these ways. I don't have to avoid people that set off my button, if that makes sense. So that is something that has been on my mind a lot. And I know it got really deep there, but in a way it has taken up a lot of my mind, a lot of my time, and with the whole winter and everything, I just hadn't had time to, you know, post things up, and just life on track as well. Like, I feel like in that whole journey of identifying myself, like I said, I got to a point where I felt more comfortable. I knew the direction I was going, and being a parent, a mother, is something that I knew I would be, but not something that I would focus 100% off. I just always assumed that, you know, for, I guess, a role model for my own daughter, to show that as a woman, you can still be the best you are, go get a career, get at work. So I always thought my expectation was, look, after having kids, I would, you know, see how it goes, but eventually go back to work on that career. I did not anticipate it to be going the way it is now, to be honest. Like, I thought I would be back at work by now, but just life got the best of us, scenario, situation changes, and here I am, like, figuring out again who I'm meant to be. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my daughter, I love spending time watching her grow, but I also need to find me again and my identity, and what I love and what I want to do. And it's hard how life changes all of a sudden. You take things for granted. I was, living, I guess, the best life that I could. I was working in I had a career in IT where I didn't even study. I'm not the academics type, but I'm more of the hands-on type where I can go into it. And, I was living a lifestyle. I had the best income coming through. Like, everything was good and dandy. And then all of a sudden I feel like now I'm back to square one and trying to figure out myself and what I want to do. And it's hard financially as well. I gotta admit, it's hard. Like, what you want to do, what you can do, sometimes you can't because everything plays a big role into it. But that's where I am right now, and that's what's been happening. So moving forward, I guess, with my channel, so I do really appreciate everyone that's been following me. Like I said, I've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years, and my channel isn't the biggest channel out there, but I do appreciate the ones that have been following and commenting as well. I see, I hear, and I really appreciate that boost of motivation. And I noticed now that after I did the capsule wardrobe videos, that there's definitely a lot of interest, a lot of motivation in doing more plus size videos. So that's something that I'm interested in doing. Obviously, being a mum, I'm gonna have to throw in a couple of mum videos and stuff like that, but I have decided as well to create a new Instagram account, which I'll leave a link here, and I'll leave my original one here as well. So basically, my original Instagram account was a spin-off, I guess, of this, like a whole lot of randomness, but I kind of want to keep that my own identity, and just create another account for all kids, baby related, in terms of like play ideas, lunch ideas, just every mum in the sun, like questioning, like thought in the sun, I guess, of what I go through, my sleepless nights of, oh, am I giving her enough attention? Am I giving her enough development? And am I, doing enough for her? What should I feed her? What should I eat her? I'm sure other mums are going through that. So I thought I would create a new one. Also started out, it's kind of, I'm doing protocol types right now, but also thinking about, creating stuff that I want to give that a go as well. So that is where I am right now. So just a little bit, I guess, of sitting down, reorganizing my life. And yeah, so I hope you understand this video. Let me know what you think. I do love seeing all the comments as well. It's definitely very encouraging and motivating as well. So yeah, so until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.